Hello and greetings from the M.E Goddess. My name is Bernice. I have Myalgia Encephalomyelitis. Some people prefer to call that chronic fatigue syndrome. I like to think of it as a personal choice. So, hang on, I just need to roll over. There. So today is a really special day for me because I have got my best friend from school. We have been friends forever. She's coming up today. Honey's going to pick her up from the airport and she's coming up to spend a few days with me, which she tries to do, every year, which is awesome. Now, for anyone who's followed my journey, first of all, congratulations to you. Well done. That's quite an achievement. It does not go unnoticed what an achievement it is to stick with it and stick with me through this. But what I want to talk about today is how do I manage my micro-pacing in this particular situation. My friend, she's really creative and crafty, and we did painting classes together, and she does awesome quilting and everything. We always did all that sort of stuff, and her skill set, she kind of did all the things that I didn't do, and I did all the things that she didn't do, kind of thing. And so knowing that I have to micropace is causing me some mental gymnastics, because all the things that we would normally do together are off the cards. And that's doing my head in a bit. There's a part of me that wants to say, well, she's only here for a few days, let's just make the most of it and deal with the consequences later. But there's also a part of me that says, no, we don't think like that anymore. And I'm trying to think, my friend, she's coming all this way, and the best I can offer her is some MasterChef reruns, a jiggle on the bed. The bed has a massage setting, and she watch me sleep, and it's a hard thing to process it. That's actually okay, because I know she won't have any problems with that, but I have problems with it. And I guess it's all part of this learning thing, this micro pacing, and I mean micro. It's working, believe it or not. Something happened the other day where I ended up having my daily wash. I had a visit from a coordinator or something. Can't remember exactly what. Oh, the neuropsychologist, I think. And then I had a chat. I had a visitor for a few hours. That's Honey coming in with my breakfast. Hey. And gluten-free, was it gluten-free muesli is no longer on our menu.
I told you, it's crap. It's the devil food.
Yeah. So this micro-pacing thing is working, and that also makes it hard, because I sort of think, well, if it wasn't working, I could just go back to pushing through and dealing with the consequences later. But what we found after that particularly busy day, well, dib busy, I was absolutely crashed for 2 whole days. I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. My body was absolutely depleted just from those things. So I've got some things I'd like to do with Trish that we can do from bed, but even just thinking about them, I'm kind of like, how am I going to do that? And I just want to say that when I committed to this post-hospital journey, I knew there were going to be times when it was going to chafe a bit, and this is one of those times. I want to have a blast with my old buddy, and yet I know that she's just coming up to see me. She doesn't care what we do. She doesn't need entertaining, none of that stuff. But it's really hard for me to let that go. And so I just wanted to say that, yes, the micro pacing is working. I have found my threshold, and it is way, way lower than I imagined it was. Honey would tend to laugh at me at this point and say, yeah, well, I already knew that, but I have to figure that out for myself, and I've done that now. So MasterChef reruns it is, and what else we can, soppy movies or something like that. But whatever we do, I know it'll be in short bursts. So committing to my own wellness has become a full-time job, with respect to staying, eye on the prize. I want to keep micro-pacing so that I can stay under my threshold, my boom and bust threshold, and that takes commitment, and that takes sacrifice, and that takes a shitload of mental gymnastics. So I'm planning on being a good girl. I'm going to do my best to be a good girl. Stick with the micro pacing. But I just wanted to touch base and say, this micro pacing, the processes that I've committed to within myself, they work when I stay under my 4% threshold. I've got to stay under that threshold. I know Jennifer Bree talks about that in her documentary Unrest, about getting under her threshold. I mean, her threshold is 26%. I can only dream of that. But if I can do this, then maybe my threshold will go up to 5%, 6%. And that's where we start to get quality of life back. It's like learning a whole new language, emotionally and physically and mentally. I have to relearn everything. And for an A-type personality person, that's it's probably easier to cut off a limb, and that doesn't mean anything about gotta go. So okay, let's scratch that comment, because it's nothing against people. I don't think people who have lost a limb have it easier than me. Let's just make that clear. It was just a comment to try and express that this is challenging me on every level. However, my best friend is coming up to see me, and I'm excited. And even if I have to be very horizontal and quiet, she's coming up to see me. That's awesome. Okay, so with the idea of being a good girl, I will sign off and catch you later, Gator. God, I do apologize for some of the crap that comes out of my mouth. It's a gift.